Okay. Oh, we already have 5 attendees. So, first and foremost, thank you everyone for joining in. I wanted to start this webinar, but I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. We still, I think, have a couple of minutes left until the official starting time. So I'm gonna prepare everything and make sure that everyone who can actually attend this joins us. And then for the ones that, of course, could not make it, we're gonna have the recording available. Okay. Uh, All right. We are gonna have this screen here and also open up my chat and the Q&A. Okay, awesome. Participants. Okay. So we have everything ready. Of course, I'm still gonna give it maybe a minute before we actually start, and we'll go from there. While we wait, just want to make sure that everyone can actually see my screen and hear me properly. So if you don't mind, use the chat option just to let me know if you can actually hear me or and see the screen before we proceed. Perfect. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Dan. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. Thank you, Hussein. Much appreciated. So, yeah, I think we can definitely start. Obviously, we may or may not have people joining us later, but as always, being that this is recorded, we can definitely proceed. We only have one topic, one sort of simple topic, and then obviously, we're going to focus on any questions you might have. So the main, hey Eric, it does not actually. This is only for the Canadian market. No worries at all. Thank you so much for joining either way. Uh, yeah, so uh, I see a lot of names here that I personally know, and for the ones that we had not had a chance yet to talk, my name is Sunny, currently the manager of our marketing department. uh, I actually wanted to do this quick webinar to make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to these changes that are happening with Google Ads. We have sent quite a few emails. We got quite a few questions, even questions sort of like, is this legit? So it felt right to kind of create a short, simple, and easy webinar to go over everything and basically what's happening, how it's going to affect, can we do anything, and how to adjust. So I'm going to start obviously, with the simple and basic overview, which is what's happening is that starting July 1st, Google will automatically start applying the GST and the HST, basically the tax on top of your Google payments that you make directly to Google, unless you obviously provide us so we can add it to your Google account. My apologies, unless you provide us with your GST or HST number. So in other words, this is sort of a big change in new legislation. There's going to be quite a few accounts affected. I mean, each and every one of them. The solution is truly simple. So what that means is a short slide here that actually talks about that part. So if if for every client that we have, and of course if you guys as the clients provide us by July 1st with your GST or HST number, there will be no additional tax charged to your account. So in other words, if your budget is, for example, $200 a month, that budget will remain the same, or your charge with Google will actually remain the same. If you don't have the tax number or you don't provide it until July 1st, it's going to impact you in terms of that you're going to have the extra cost that you're going to basically get charged directly by Google. You're going to get the charge for your budget that you spent plus the tax depending on which province you're located in Canada. So in other words, as I explained it here, for the province of Ontario, knowing that it's 13% of the tax, it's basically going to mean that as of July 1st, if you don't add the tax number, it's going to be, instead of $200, the charge will be 226, where the $26 will be that 13% tax that they're going to charge. So overall, again, just as a conclusion, it's only going to impact uh, uh, basically it's only going to impact Dennis. I see the question. We're going to get to that in a second. So overall, overall, the only change that's going to happen is for the clients don't that don't actually apply this number. So, in other words, for everyone that start by July 1st that sends us their GST and the HST number, nothing is going to change. Literally, only for the accounts that don't do it, there's going to be a change in terms of the budget that is, at the end of the day, the budget that is going to be charged by Google. So basically, then is the GST or the HST is the tax number. So the tax ID that you as a registered business, as a registered real estate agent have in order to submit and file your taxes to the Canadian government. So the rates for the province, as you can see it here on the screen, but I'm pretty sure that from whichever province and from whichever city we have the clients, I'm pretty sure you know what are the basically what are the rates for your province. So this slide simply quickly represents your overall increase on top of your Google budget in case that you don't have the tax number, in case you don't send it to us by July 1st. So obviously, for example, if you're located in BC or in Alberta, you're going to have a 5% increase. And for example, if you're located in Ontario, you're going to have a 13% increase. So in other words, it's going to be, obviously it's going to be varying a lot, uh, from a province to province. Dennis, this actually, it does not relate to the USA. This is strictly a change happening for the Canadian market. So, from this perspective, you're good as is. So there's not going to be the higher rate. Hope that helps. So yeah, where are we going with this, and sort of what we actually have to do? So the questions that I personally feel need to be answered are, is there a workaround and how to adjust? So this is sort of going to have an impact, uh, for people that are trying to budget, that you're trying to accomplish something with a certain Google Ads budget. So uh, is there a workaround for this? Obviously the simple and the honest answer is no. This is something that we have to comply, and that's something that we don't even have the control over. So in other words, this is happening on July 1st by Google, without us or anyone else for that matter being able to control it. So there's absolutely no workaround for this one. How to adjust? Pretty much, we're going to have two scenarios here. I know that majority of our clients, they have the tax number, and they have either the GST or the HST number that we could use basically and add it to your Google account with us, sort of to avoid this. And that's what needs to happen for everyone that actually has a registered number. And for the clients that don't have the tax number, what what's going to happen is either of these two scenarios. So basically, you're going to keep the same budget, and simply pay the tax rate on top of it directly to Google. So in other words, as I explained it on the previous basically of the on the previous slide here, if you have a $200 a month budget and you don't have the tax number, you're gonna see a charge of 226. And for the clients that uh, cannot or do not want to, go over their marketing budget. So, for example, if the budget is $200 and you want the tax to be included there, what's going to happen is that in that case you're going to have to reach out. We're going to figure it out, and we're going to probably reduce the overall Google budget to incorporate the tax rate, or in other words, reducing the marketing budget from 200 to, for example, 175, to make sure that once the charge goes through including the tax, that it's still within your marketing budget. So that's sort of going to be uh, the only possible scenario in both of these cases. So I think I went rather quickly there, so I'm just going to pause for a minute and let you guys ask any questions you might have. So please, if I miss anything, or if literally anything is not clear from the presentation, let me know, and let's focus on the questions. Correct. So, Hussein asked us a good question. So, Hussein, yes, you can definitely email us the HST number. We also sent mass email to pretty much all of our clients. In that email had a form where you can submit it. So, literally, we provided a Google form where you can add the tax number, and we're going to automatically apply it. But either way, if you did not get that email, or um, you cannot find it, you can most definitely simply email it to either myself directly or to support@agentlocator.ca. Not a problem at all, same. So any other questions? I mean, I'm pretty sure this is straightforward, obviously, but still wanted to make sure that we don't miss anything. Michael, good question. So was there no tax on the ads before? That's correct. Google did not collect or required us to, or anyone for that matter, to add the tax number. So basically, your $200 budget was strictly 200, and it was not collected directly by Google. You could have obviously, write it off as a business expense, personally when you were doing your own taxes, but Google was not requiring this, nor they were pretty much charging this in case you don't have a registered HST or GST number. So that's the big change. Now they're actually, as I explained, now they're pretty much, either of the two options. You're going to either provide the tax number and they're not going to charge the tax, or if you don't, they're going to simply start charging the proper tax rate depending on the province. So that was, yeah, this is sort of quite a big change happening right now. Hey, Dennis, yes, that's a good question. That is correct. This was done simply to comply with the new government rules. That is absolutely correct. And this is being passed forward. All right. So yeah, I guess that those were sort of all of the questions so far that I see, related to this. I also wanted to kind of, ask everyone attending here, being that the main topic of the webinar focused around the HST is relatively simple, straightforward, and short. And if everyone is sort of clear on what's going to happen, I want to also ask anyone attending here, do you have any sort of other questions related to Google Ads? Good point, Dennis. It's definitely something that we might consider. So, a question from Cheryl in the meantime. Correct, Cheryl. So, when you provide us with the HST number, we're going to add it to your Google Ads account that we're using to advertise for the PPC campaigns, basically for you to avoid paying the extra tax. Yeah. Again, feel free to bring up any question related to Google Ads you might have if something is not clear. Being that, again, this is all related, this is all connected. Speaking of the Google Ads and the budget and the campaigns, I want to make sure that since we're already here, that at least, except explaining this sort of the HST and the tax situation overall, that we also bring some additional value if someone has some good questions related to Google Ads that actually might help and bring up the value. Okay. uh while you either type or while we wait, if you have any questions, as the sort of as sort of the question that I have, I know we don't have many attendees here, but from the ones that we do actually have, is there anyone here? Uh, yeah, thank you so much, Cheryl. Is there anyone here attending that does not have the GST or the HST tax number? Is there anyone that is attending the webinar, who this will actually affect? So Anna, as you don't, if I understood correctly, you don't have the HST number. Oh, you do have a GST. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much. I misunderstood. I figured, you said yes. Michael, perfect, perfect. Anna, thank you so much. Michael, this actually does not apply in terms of the agent locator fees, because we already bill the monthly fee with the tax included. So this sort of does not affect you unless you have a Google advertising campaign managed by us or on your own or with anyone else for that matter. This strictly and solely applies only to Google Ads advertising campaigns. So if you have an advertising campaign on Google managed by us, by yourself, or any other company, this will impact you only in that case, where you're going to have to provide your GST or the HST number to avoid paying a tax on top of your actual marketing ad spend. So hope that kind of makes sense. Question from Hussein. Will the Google PPC price go higher within your regulations? It will absolutely not, being that this does not impact the Google as the advertising platform. Google PPC campaigns rates, sort of, what you pay per click and what you pay per lead, will not be impacted by this because it does not have anything to do with the advertising platform itself. This is simply collecting the tax. pretty much. I mean, it's not going to have it's gonna maybe a point where if you don't have the HST or the GST number, your overall cost per lead will go up by maybe 30-40 cents, because if you're, for example, spending $200 a month, as I explained it on this screen here, and if you're living in Ontario, your new cost will be 226. So for example, if you're getting uh, 20 leads at $10 cost per lead, now that cost per lead might actually be sort of $10.30, because the actual fee they're going to pay is 226. So that increase might reflect on the overall advertising cost. But for people that do have the tax number and provide it to us, this will absolutely not going to change any sort of a cost related to the cost per lead or the PPC campaign prices. So good question, Hussein. Thank you so much. Uh, let's see if we missed anything, if anyone has any sort of other questions related to this or Google Ads in general. Michael, don't we still end up paying the tax later though? Google Ads as an expense. So far, Google Ads did not charge the tax at all, and being that it's a business cost that you use to generate business for yourself, most of the time, this advertising budget was kind of, you were able to write it off as a business expense and sort of not paying tax on top of it. So that was the case so far. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if I missed anything. Very good point, Cheryl. Very good point. Thank you so much for bringing it up. Everyone has to have an HST number, as they have to pay the tax on sales, and you need to file the HST return. That is correct for literally 99% of the clients that we currently have. But there are clients that are either part-time in the business, or simply, did not, get the number yet. We got a few inquiries about that, but even they are going to probably be, filing for the HST and the GST numbers. So yeah, that's going to be resolved. I'm pretty sure again that 99.9% of our clients have this number, and that this is not going to be an issue in terms of paying the extra tax. All right. Any more questions? I mean, again, Uh, no worries at all. Dennis, you have a great one as well. As I said, this is pretty straightforward. I just wanted to make sure, we come to the point where we have a video session about this, where we have a webinar about this. If, if we have any sort of specific questions or misunderstanding about this, that we even have a video we could later on use and send. So this topic overall about the HST and these tax changes starting July 1st is not a complicated one. It's not a big one. But again, in the meantime, before we call it a day, if you have any other questions I might help with, please let me know. Cheers, Cheryl. Thank you so much for taking the time to attend this. So yeah, if we don't have any other questions, I know it was a quick one. Again, the topic was the same, so there's truly no point in sort of delaying it. I want to thank you all for taking time to join. If anything later on comes up, feel free to let us know. Support at agentlocator.ca. We'll be there definitely to clear it up. In the meantime, I wish you all a great rest of the day and a great weekend ahead. Thank you so much.